I don't want chocolate buttermilk. Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the kitchen. We are going to do something very unusual and out of the ordinary today. You see in front of me chocolate milk. I am going to can the chocolate milk and make it shelf stable. Yeah, you really honestly can, and it's great. Okay. I bought it on sale. It's got a close date on it. And there's no way that we're going to drink all this before we have to get rid of it. So the best thing to do is to can it. Okay. I figure my boys will drink about half of it, so I'm going to pour half of it into 2-quart jars that I have, and I'm going to stick that back in the fridge so they can use it now. If you have half-gallon jug, pitcher, whatnot, doesn't matter. I'm using quart jars because they're smaller and I can stick them anywhere in the fridge, to be honest with you. Okay, now with the rest of this, I have pint jars. They're clean, sterile, sanitized, whatever you want to call it, but they're nice clean jars and they're cold. Okay, my milk is cold. My canner is cold and the water inside my canner is cold. You always want to stick with cold whenever you're doing this, because if we put cold milk in hot jars and then we put it into the canner, then it may crack. And we don't want to do that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my milk into these jars. I'm going to leave the 1-inch headspace. That way it has room to bubble. Well, actually, may have enough for 2 more jars. I had them sitting here for another project, but that's okay. Well, we got 1 more. They can drink the rest of this. No big deal. Okay, so I have a wet paper towel. Okay, it just has water on it. A lot of people who can, they wipe the rims of their jars, no matter what they're canning, with white vinegar. I do when I'm canning meat, but for milk, I am absolutely not going to do that, because I do not want to risk having a little bit of that vinegar get down in my milk. And if you've done very much baking or cooking, you realize whenever you mix vinegar or lemon juice with milk, what happens? Just in case you don't know, it will curdle or turn into buttermilk. I don't want chocolate buttermilk. If you want chocolate buttermilk, let me know in the comments. And you can try it. I'm not going to. Okay, anyway, I've wiped the rims of my jars off with just a wet paper towel. I have my flats and my rings. I had them sitting in water. With today's lids, you don't have to do that according to the manufacturer's recommendations, but these were outside in my storage building, and I thought I'd warm the rubber on them up just a little bit because I didn't want to risk anything going wrong. Okay, as you see, I am just barely putting these lids on here. I'm putting them finger tight. If we do anything more than that, it may affect the seal. Anytime you're pressure canning like that, always only finger tight. Cut it for a second. Okay, I've got all of my lids and flats on my jars. Okay. And I have my water and I have white vinegar in my canner. I have hard water, and the white vinegar keeps the nasty film off my jars. Okay, I'm just going to place them in here. Okay. And I'm going to stick some extra jars, empty jars in here so these milks won't be bubbling around everywhere and hit one another and the jar break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on, I'm going to turn my heat onto medium and bring it up to temperature very slow. When it comes up to temperature and starts to steam or vent, I'm going to set my timer and I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes. And after it is vented for 10 minutes, I'm going to put my little jiggler right here on there. That's my weight. Okay, that controls the pressure. Okay, I have a 10-pound weight on there, so it's going to hold my pressure at 10 pounds. And as soon as this starts to jiggle back and forth a little bit, I'm going to turn it off. Because you do not have to process that for any amount of time. It only has to come up to 10 pounds of pressure. Okay, it does not matter what size jar you use. The process is the same. I'll bring you along a little bit further in the journey and show you where we're at. Okay, as you see, this has got a good amount of steam coming up through here. And I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes and let that vent. Then, after the 10 minutes, I'm going to put my little jiggler on there and let it come up to pressure and start jiggling. Okay, our canner has come up to pressure. The little jiggler has started to jiggle. So that tells me I'm where I need to be. So I'm turning the heat off. Okay, you don't have to cook it even for a minute once it comes to pressure. So we've turned it off. We're going to let the heat drop down naturally. Let it set for a few minutes after the pressure drops. And we're going to take that milk out. And guys, that's going to be shelf stable for at least 2 years. I'm really glad to have more varieties of milk to add to my pantry. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out of the canner. Okay, the pressure has dropped on my canner, so I'm going to take my jiggler off, grab my little jar lifter, open up my canner. All right. Always open it away from you. That way you don't have a face full of steam and you don't get burned. Chocolate milk. That looks like that has siphoned a little bit. But that's okay. Once it cools off, we'll wipe the jars off and it'll be fine. Oh yeah, this one looks much better. But guys, you know, I show you the ugly along with the good and bad because this is real life. But anyway, there you have it. Chocolate milk that I can leave sitting in these jars for up to 2 years in my pantry. All you need to do to use it is just stick it in the refrigerator, chill it. I mean, if you want to drink it warm, that's up to you. You could probably heat it and have it as a hot chocolate. I don't know, but I think I'd rather chill it and have it just as regular chocolate milk. It's going to taste just a little bit richer where it has boiled for a little bit. But it's going to be fantastic. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you on the next video.